To date, just after a year, we've been able to distribute over 15 million meals and over 4.5 million sandwiches. So I didn't know what I was doing, but I went out and did it. Hi there, my name is Danny Diliberto. I'm founder of Ladles of Love. Ladles of Love began back in July 2014. I was on a breathing and meditation course through an organization called The Art of Living, and during this course we were introduced to an ancient Sanskrit word, Seva, spelled S-E-V-A, and it means giving of yourself, wanting nothing in return. Literally not even for yourself, just giving because you can. And it was an interaction with a homeless individual on Long Street in Cape Town that I realized that an interaction with a homeless person and giving them a fresh bowl of soup can restore their dignity, even just for a minute. Then it really touched my soul, and it all clicked into place. Being in the restaurant business at the time, I had a big kitchen surrounded by homeless people in the city, so we began a soup kitchen on a chilly Tuesday evening on July 2014. The essence of Ladles of Love is that we want to serve with dignity and respect. We don't see homeless people as homeless people, but as human beings like you and me. So it was very important that the soup kitchen is for them. Obviously you have to keep the lines and the boundaries, but it was about treating them with respect, seeing them as just fellow human beings in need, and providing them with a fresh, nutritious, tasty meal. You were all of a sudden seeing complete strangers arriving at a soup kitchen, and all of a sudden gender, race, color, religion all fell away, and you became a human being. And when I saw this, I realized that we're not only feeding the souls of the homeless people, but we're also feeding the souls of the volunteers that are coming. Just before COVID hit, this is where we were. We were cooking food out of this kitchen. We were working with 4 soup kitchens, which we had around the city. So they were mobile kitchens. We would pack the bakkie and we'd send the food and the tables and everything to the different soup kitchens where we were serving them. And and then we were working with the schools where we would drop off a huge parcel of groceries and maize meal and rice and all that, so that they could cook that food in the kitchen for the children. When COVID-19 hit our shores, it was a very strange moment for me. I'm not a religious man, but I would like to say I had a godly conversation, because when Cyril Ramaphosa mentioned lockdown, I can imagine there were a lot of people that were fearful and didn't know, God, what's going to happen. I had the complete opposite. I went into a complete peaceful place, because it was almost, I knew exactly what I had to do. I knew I had to get food out to as many people as we possibly could. The first thing I did was I had to get hold of some chefs that I knew could run this kitchen, because I needed people. I couldn't worry about this, that I knew. So I had to pass that responsibility onto a chef, because we were going to increase. I knew we were going to increase. We were cooking around a ton of food a week. I knew we were going to increase that to 7 or 8 tons a week, and I couldn't do that on my own. We were cooking 2,000 meals, 1,000 breakfasts and 1,000 lunches every day. We really started imploding. People were using our name in social media. You know, there's people out there, they just push their luck. So we were starting to lose a bit of control on our social media. So I just knew, hang on, things are falling apart here. And I called a friend of mine, Alison. She's in the events business, and she came to look at this, and she said, we've got to get you a bigger place. And that's what she did. She went out, she connected with the CEO of CTICC, Torby, and within a week we had a 3-page document signed. We had Hall 5, the entire Hall 5, 1,500 square meters of space. So we're going from 100 square meters to 1,500 square meters, just like that. So we were able to increase that. We eventually got to over 50 tons of food that we were doing a week. I mean, we were having millions of rands being donated. The positive that I got to see was how we as a human race came together, and people that had just climbed in to help people that didn't have. If we needed a truck to go and fetch something, no problem. Farms were donating their, obviously there was a lot of produce that was stuck because business shut down, given to us. And then, like I said, when we made a call for sandwiches, how everyone jumped in there and just, that's it, we're doing it, If you park super links, those big, huge super links that transport goods, if you had to park one behind the other, you'd have a kilometer long of trucks. That's to give you an idea of what 2,000 tons of food is that we've been able to distribute. So had I not had that moment, that I felt when I was listening to Cyril Ramaphosa, that food wouldn't have gone out. 15 million meals, 4.5 million sandwiches. I mean, we've fed a lot of people. Had I not done that, that wouldn't have happened. Maybe someone else would have stood up, but let's say someone didn't, I think there would have been a humanitarian crisis. I think that's what drove me, is that I knew if I didn't get out there, we as people who could, we needed to avoid a humanitarian crisis. We had to avoid people from starving. And then obviously giving food out to the community, the gratitude that we received from them, that they were saying, thank you Ladles, without you we couldn't feed these people. You're doing your job. My plans for the future, it's hard to say. For sure we need to continue feeding. It's what I know how to do, it's what we do well, and it's a basic human right, so we will continue feeding. But we also want to look at ways of helping people stand on their feet. Our call to action is, firstly, obviously, and this might sound blunt, but money is of course what keeps the organization going. So we're always calling for donations. What I've come to realize with COVID, as I've mentioned earlier, is that today we can't just do a once-off act of kind. We can't think we've given a donation, cool, walk off. And I'm not saying just donate to us, but it has to be ongoing. We've got millions of people that are in need of help, and those that can help, we need to help. So we're calling on debit orders now. We're asking people to sign up debit orders, any amount, because the more debit orders we can accumulate, the more we know we've got money coming in without us having to constantly chase money. We're always calling for volunteering because it's part of our love activism. So we always try and make ways to volunteer as easy as possible. And then we're asking people to follow our social media and share it, because I think that was huge for us as well in the beginning of COVID, is that people were just sharing and it got the word out. Care for yourself, feed your mind, feed your soul with good words, good people, good food. Because when you are strong, then all those around you, you will affect in a positive way. And that is what is becoming important. We need to love each other. It doesn't matter religion, color, it doesn't matter. You've got to take the word me, M-E, take the M, turn it upside down. What do you get? We. That's what it's about now.